quickly at the news tonight. It's a snapshot of the world not spinning out of control, but a world resetting. From the nuclear shadows of the past to the digital lines of the future, the old rules are breaking. This is the Global News Update on top Accolade News. The headline: Dutch centrist party D66 emerges as kingmaker. US to restart nuclear test. Deepfake video fuels tension in Hungary's pre-election battle. US and China agree on major tariff reductions. We begin in Europe. The Netherlands centrist D66 party surged in national elections, matching Brit Browder's far-right Freedom Party with 26 seats, but emerging as a likely leader in government formation after mainstream parties ruled out joining Wilders. Led by 38-year-old Rob Jetten, D66 nearly tripled in representation, marking a sharp rebuke of populism after Wilders' coalition collapsed earlier this year, as D66 supporters chanted, "Yes, we can."
Even taart aansnijden. Dat vinden jullie denk ik ook allemaal fijn als ik dat nog even met jullie erbij.
An historic election result because we've shown not only to the Netherlands but also to the world that it is possible to beat populist and extreme right movements, and I'm very eager to cooperate with other parties.
Jetten declared that voters had turned a page on extremism. Even in turbulent times, moderation can still win the day. Across the Atlantic, hope takes a backseat in hard power. Donald Trump has directed the Pentagon to begin nuclear weapon testing on an equal basis with Russia and China, ending more than 3 decades of restraint since America's last full test in 1992. His announcement came hours before meeting Chinese President Xi Jinping in North Korea, where he called for denuclearization talks but gave no details. China urged Washington to honor the Non-Proliferation Treaty, while Moscow remained silent after boasting recent missile tests. Critics warn that the move could spark a new global arms race. In an era haunted by old fears, Trump has chosen to wake the atom again. Meanwhile, in Hungary, politics is entering uncharted territory. Hungarian opposition leader Peter Magyar said he will file a criminal complaint against Prime Minister Viktor Orban's chief aide, Balázs Orbán, accusing him of releasing an AI-generated deepfake video showing Magyar pledging to court pensions. The 38-second clip, unlabeled as artificial intelligence content, surfaced just months before Hungary's 2026 elections, where Magyar's party lead in polls. Balázs Orbán dismissed the claim, saying Magyar wanted to silence those who revealed the truth. Analysts warned that the case, Hungary's first major political deepfake scandal, underscores how AI could further erode public trust in an already polarized nation. In the digital age, lies can look frighteningly real. Amid global tension, one meeting in Asia delivered rare economic calm. The US and China reached a breakthrough trade agreement in Busan as President Donald Trump and Xi Jinping agreed to cut tariff in Chinese imports to 47% from 57%, with fentanyl-related levies halved to 10%. In exchange, Beijing pledged to curb fentanyl flows, resume US soybean imports, and maintain rare earth exports.
I thought it was an amazing meeting. He's a great leader of a very powerful, very strong country, China. We have a deal. Now every year we'll renegotiate the deal, but I think the deal will go on for a long time, long beyond the year. We'll negotiate at the end of the year.
The 2-hour meeting, their first since 2019, signaled a cautious thaw in relations amid lingering economic tensions. You're watching the Global News Update on top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. In Europe's fragile southeast, the wind of diplomacy is shifting again. The US Treasury Department has lifted sanctions on Bosnian Serb nationalist Milorad Dodik, his family, and allies, marking a sharp policy shift after years of isolation. Washington offered no reason for the reversal, but Serb officials hint at renewed cooperation with the US while keeping ties with Russia. The move followed Dodik's removal from office and Parliament's repeal of separatist laws, State Department hailed as stabilizing. Yet analysts warn Dodik's compliance may be tactical, not transformational. Old ambitions can hide their new smiles, one diplomat said, capturing the uneasy calm surrounding Bosnia's fragile peace. From international conflict to a quiet, unsettling policy shift in the Balkans, Pakistan's defense minister has vowed to obliterate the Taliban following the collapse of peace talks in Istanbul that failed to resolve escalating border clash, which have killed dozens this month. Both nations accused each other of derailing negotiations, with Islamabad blaming Kabul for harboring militants who attacked Pakistani forces.
We live in our geography or neighborhood, as we were just discussing Afghanistan and India. We live in troubled times, and Pakistan is exposed to hostile states on both sides, west and east. So we have, I think, the capability we have as on today is enough to retaliate or respond to any aggression by any country against Pakistan.
Despite a Doha-brokered ceasefire, renewed fighting has left 5 Pakistani soldiers and 25 Taliban members dead, as if warned that the breakdown marks a shift from dialogue to open war, a chilling reminder that when diplomacy dies, destruction often follows. Now let's turn to culture. A Seoul court has ruled against New Jeans in their attempt to terminate their contract with record label Adore, affirming that the agreement remains valid until 2029. The 5-member group has accused the label of manipulation and mistreatment following the dismissal of their mentor and former CEO. Adore welcomed the decision, urging the artists to reflect calmly, while New Jeans vowed to appeal, insisting it is impossible to return. In K-pop, freedom often comes at the cost of fame. And finally, a tragedy that has shaken the sports world. 17-year-old Ben Austin has died after being hit in the neck by a cricket ball during practice in Melbourne. Despite wearing a helmet, the absence of a neck guard proved fatal when the handheld ball launcher delivered the blow. Rushed to the hospital in critical condition, he died 2 days later. Tribute poured in from his family, Cricket Victoria, and teammates, describing him as a shining light and beloved son. The tragedy is a painful reminder that in sports, even moments of passion can turn heartbreakingly fragile. From the battle for political center in The Hague to the battle against deepfake lies in Budapest, the headlines today tell us that the world is demanding more from its leaders, more moderation, more honesty, and more clarity. And we, the audience, must demand the same clarity from our news. For Top Accolade News, I'm Romeo Kocha. You have a wonderful day and keep watching the global news update on Top Accolade News.